Recently, I started watching a former or retired, or who knows, maybe still at it, CIA operative talking about life in the CIA, who gets into the CIA, what it's like to be an operative, what the operative's jobs are. And with great fascination, by the way, I've got December 7th, 2024 up there. That's not today. But sometimes time stands still. So I'm going to keep talking. Recently, his podcast was a bit of an attempt to describe the difference between ethics and morality, at least as it applies to people who work in the intelligence community, especially in covert intelligence. He said we all come into whatever we do with a personal morality, that we have our personal morality that is informed, and I'm building on this now, by religion, our philosophy, our ideology, whatever it is. And sometimes that has to be sacrificed. He said, now, ethics is different. He says ethics is different. Ethics is defined by a code of ethics. And specifically, he was saying the CIA had a code of ethics, and that ethics and morality with regard to that code of ethics, they were not interchangeable. And his point was that a CIA operative must abide by the code of ethics of the CIA, and presumably whether or not it is legal, and yet may need to choose to violate the personal morality that he or she or they espouse for the greater good, for the protection of Americans. And he said it is justified because the CIA is extraordinary in the sense that you only call upon them as a last resort to protect your country. Now, it made a lot of sense. It was cohesive in terms of an argument. It was a compelling argument. I still think it amounts to moral and ethical hogwash. And as much as I appreciate our operatives, as much as I appreciate our intelligence community, there are lines over which and beyond which one must not step. And morality is a universal concept and not something that is codified in a code of ethics of an organization. And a violation of morality is almost always a violation of ethics. And automatically, I would be disqualified according to his definition for what makes a good CIA agent. He said a CIA agent has to be able to differentiate between those two and put aside their personal morality for the greater good in order to get the job done and realize that you could compartmentalize your life. I understand what he's saying. I appreciate what he's saying. I certainly wouldn't demonize or villainize someone who comes at it from that point of view, but I'm talking about policy, and I am talking about an overriding principle that is greater than whether I like and appreciate someone or not. Especially in the sense that I believe that this is a widespread, pervasive, and broad misconception that many Americans share, and they share it about their elected leaders. That if the results are justified by the cause of protecting something that we value as Americans and Americans, then it is okay to hurt people. It is okay to break laws. It is okay to violate principles. Again, I say with all compassion, with all respect for those who disagree with me, I believe that is hogwash. And I believe it is a slippery slope that once we begin to slide down it, we will end in not only mud, but quicksand for which there is no bottom. They say you can't completely sink in quicksand, but I believe that's a quicksand we could drown in. Now you think about it, we talk about it. This is a discussion topic and it's out there for you to think about. See, my cat keeps appearing and reappearing. That's magical. Well, I think the thinking that says that we can maintain the kind of country we want to live in and live by that kind of rule where we are drawing a sharp line between ethics and morality, and that if it gets the right results, it's okay and justifies breaking laws that are international or national and violating human rights. That's fine. Think about it. Let's talk about it. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but then so are you. Pretty sure you're right too, right? Absolutely. All the best to you. I think that's all of Wednesday in America for one day. Not sure when I'll post this, but it will not, I know for sure, it will not be December 7th, 2024.